We're back on our Indiana Jones videos with the release of the DLC. We've got those extra recipes. Plus, we're going to go back and we're going to do, we're going to feature the ingredients that are kind of spread throughout the game but do not have specific recipes. So the first recipe that I wanted to feature that's not actually a direct recipe from the game is actually going to be biscottis, which we find in the Vatican and outside of the Vatican in the DLC. So for this, normally what I'm going to be trying to do on the recipes is I'm actually going to be going and finding authentic recipes from the time period that feature those ingredients. For instance, we find a lot of like apples in the Vatican, and so we're going to be finding a recipe that like really highlights apples from the 1940s or 30s, somewhere around that time period, and that's authentic to that specific region. But today we're going to go a little off script from that, because a Redditor managed to find out that they used a specific recipe's picture for the biscottis. And so that recipe was dug up, and that's the recipe we're going to be doing today. So little departure, but what we're going to make today is the exact recipe for the picture they used in the video game. It's going to be a gluten-free biscotti. So we're going to go ahead and start. I already zested our orange here, so we're going to throw this orange in here, mix it with our sugar, and you're just supposed to kind of massage it with your fingers to release the essential oils. Just like this. We don't need to do too much. We just want to kind of, I'm mostly worried about breaking up the light brown sugar, so I think we're probably good there. We're going to add in our melted butter, and we have 2 eggs. Just like that. We're going to give this a good whisk until it's smooth. Now the thing is, we know there's a history on this channel of me not doing well with dough products or dough foods. I just cannot get the hang of it. So we're just gonna really hope that this actually turns out this time. You can't get better unless you keep doing it. So here we are. Okay, next up, we got all of this mixed up. So we're gonna add in our 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. And we also know I have a history of overpouring with certain things, so we're trying to be a little bit more careful. Now, going to give this another mix to make sure that vanilla extract is properly mixed in, which it is. So moving on to our next step, and that's going to be starting the dough. So in our big bowl, we have our gluten-free flour, which I am using rice flour because that's what we had on hand. Shout out to the aunt-in-law. With that, we're going to add in our baking powder and some salt. We're going to give these a good mix. Now, you're supposed to whisk it, but guess what? I cannot stand using a whisk when we start combining wet and dry ingredients because I'm so sick and tired of having to clean in between the whisk. So this is what we're doing. I'm sure that a baker could comment and tell me exactly why you need to and that I'm incredibly in the wrong, but that's what we're doing. So with that mixed in, we're going to pour in our wet ingredients. And now we're giving this a good mix, trying to get everything well incorporated. And this is looking at pretty well mixed in and incorporated. So the ingredient I forgot to mention is that it's pistachios. That's the little visual, like little grain looking things are in the video. So here are our pistachios. It's a lot of pistachios. Gonna mix those in until it's evenly distributed. And by the way, this is as many pistachios as the recipe called for. So just make sure everything's in there, nice and mixed until evenly distributed. So now that this has been evenly distributed, pretty much as even as it's going to get, we're going to just let it chill in the fridge for 15 minutes, and then we'll be back with our next steps. So we're back. Our 15 minutes are done. The dough has firmed up a bit, and the oven is preheating. So what we're going to do is we're going to spread just a light amount of flour to help us in this next step. We're going to pull the dough out. It has the consistency of cookie dough, which I was kind of surprised at, but also it makes sense when I was thinking about it, because it's like, well, you know, cake dough would probably come out like too much of a rock, twice baked, right? So anyways, what we're doing now is we're not supposed to worry too much about the shape, but we want it to be like a log. And I think, I don't know, when I think of biscotti shape, it's not quite the shape I'm thinking of. I'm gonna, oh wow, that's not as forgiving as I had hoped. We're gonna, I think that's a little bit closer. Mash it down a little bit. Okay, and we're gonna have to fix that anyways once it goes on our parchment paper. What?
That's not a log.
It's a log.
No, it is not.
What would you call a log?
Rounder.
We're gonna transfer and then finish our shaping on here. I guess it is going to grow quite a lot in the oven, so I don't know. We'll see how well this works out, right? So there's our log, and the oven's just about done preheating. So after that's done, we're going to pop it in the oven for 25 to 30 minutes. All right, we cooked for our. The instructions said 28 to 30 minutes. I actually had to go 40 minutes to get to the kind of firmness on our bread that we needed, which was just firm and not at all givey. So now that it's cooled down to lukewarm temperatures, we're gonna go ahead and cut it for our second bake. So just take a serrated knife and, okay, well, let's see how well this actually turns out. And it did not grow the size I was expecting or size I was hoping for. These are not going to turn out great, I don't think. They are super crumbly already, so this might be a bit of a wash. Oh my gosh. Well, we're going to have some messed up looking. Oh well. Oh man, this is so sad. I'm basically just gonna have crumbs. Well, you know what? What did I say at the beginning? I can't do dough recipes. So we're just gonna try anyways. Oh, so sad. Oh no, it's crumbling in my hand as I try to transfer. That was actually going to be a good piece too. Well, some of this, oh, so sad. Some of these are a little too thick. Well, maybe I should have trusted the timer, but like, the recipe called for it to be a certain like density before I pulled it out of the oven. So I'd say we're gonna lose about half of that loaf. I'm a little bummed about it, but anyways, we're gonna see how it turns out. Pop it back in the oven at 265 for about another half hour, and we'll come back and I don't know, hopefully there's one or two pieces in here that's actually good. We'll see. We made it in the end, got them out. Correction, 40 minutes in the oven the second time around. Let them cool off. We're gonna see. I like mine hard as a brick, and this doesn't quite feel hard as a brick. So let's go ahead and take a bite. It's so dry. I can't even swallow it, so dry. Well, okay. Well, a couple things of note. One, they're dry like they're supposed to be. They're not nearly as hard as I want them to be. I'm going to chalk this up to not entirely my fault. I think I shouldn't have used rice flour. And if I was going to do this again, I would just use regular all-purpose flour. I can't dunk these in coffee, which is what I want with my biscottis. I want to dunk them in coffee, in a nice hot cup of coffee. Loosens it up a bit, softens it. Great little snack with your coffee. These are not it. I'm going to give the recipe the benefit of the doubt and just say don't use rice flour. I think that's the problem. They didn't rise like I wanted them to, or like they were supposed to. They didn't come out hard like they were supposed to. It could be that I spent that extra 10 minutes in the oven on the first bake, but I was supposed to get it to the consistency the recipe said. So didn't work out. It's a bit of a wash. I'm disappointed, but circumstances being what they are, we made biscotti. On to the next Indiana Jones recipe, I would say.